time to review a camp slasher that I just discovered, and you can also get 30 free days of Shudder. Check it out. Lake BODEM stars Nellie Hurst G and is directed by Taneli Mustonen. What's up, guys? As you know, the slasher genre is my favorite horror subgenre, and I just discovered this movie on Shudder called Lake BODEM, and I got really curious. It's a camp slasher, but this will be a sponsored review sponsored by the good people over at Shudder. Shudder is a service that I am excited to tell you guys about. I've been offered sponsored reviews in the past, and if it's something that I'm not passionate about, then I do not do it. Shudder happens to be a service that I've been a member of for, I think, almost a year now. Really passionate about the service. I've mentioned it from time to time in past reviews even. I'm so happy that I can now give you guys 30 free days of this. If you were to sign up, you could get 7 free days, but if you use my special Drumdums code, then you can get 30 days. And guys, let me tell you, it is so freaking worth it. I mean, it's only $5 a month anyway. But before I get into the review, let me tell you why Shudder is so freaking awesome. Shudder is home of the largest and fastest growing human curated selection of high quality, spine tingling, and provocative international and independent films, TV series, and originals. And there's always something new and unexpected for Shudder members to explore. And not only is it available in the US, but also in Canada and the UK, Ireland, and you can find it on many different platforms like Chromecast, Apple TV, Roku, etc. Other streaming services only scratch the surface. Shudder dives much deeper, quenching your thirst for the ultimate selection of thrillers, suspense, and horror. On Shudder, you will get content that pushes the boundaries of cinema, offering provocative, dark, and clever alternatives. And one thing I really love about the service is that it offers exclusive content. There is a complete playlist on the site that offers nothing but titles that you will find only at Shudder. Lake BODEM happens to be one of those titles. But if you look here, you can see tons of titles that, like I said, only at Shudder. 2 of them that I really enjoyed actually were Mayhem and Better Watch Out. Mayhem, much like the Belko experiment, is just this virus that gets loose in this office building, so the office building is contained, and it pretty much turns into a bloodbath. And then Better Watch Out. I love good Christmas horror films. Better Watch Out was such a nice surprise because you think it's going to go one way with this kid having this babysitter, but then it really goes a completely different direction. I've actually reviewed that movie, and I can't recommend it enough, actually. And like I said, you can only get it on Shudder. And lastly, the playlists on the site are just insane because, you know, on a regular site, you could have just a straight up slashers playlist, but not on Shudder. There's actually like 3 or 4 different types of slasher films playlists that you can check out. And also, of course, you can have your own playlist. I actually add movies from time to time on there that I want to watch. As you guys know, I have quite a stack of movies that I have to get to, and luckily Shudder makes it easy. You can just throw them right there in your own playlist and then watch them later. One of my favorite playlists that I've been checking out right now is the Giallo playlist, just because for the last year I've really been into Giallo films, and Shudder actually has a playlist that's just nothing but Giallo films, which I think is really cool. And be sure to stay tuned after the review. I'm going to tell you about what's going on in the month of July with a special celebrity host. Anyway, let's get on to the review for Lake BODEM. Like I said, this is one of those camp slashers, which I love so much. As far as like cerebral slashers go, and you usually don't hear those 2 words in the same sentence, this one actually has some really nice twists along the way, and I say twists plural because there's actually a couple of nice twists in this movie. But quick plot synopsis for this movie. Lake BODEM is a real series of murders that happened in the early 60s, where 4 teenagers were camping out in Lake BODEM, which is in Finland, and 3 of them were killed, 1 of them got away. And so this movie takes place in Finland in the present day, and these 4 teenagers, they want to go there and I guess experience what it's like staying at a campground where an atrocity happened. It kind of reminded me of like the Villisca murders, because you can go to the Villisca murders house and stay the night. You know, you can pay to stay the night, and some people, they get a thrill out of that stuff. I might be a little bit too chicken to do it myself. But as we all know, as soon as they get there, these killings start happening, and quickly these teenagers are fighting for their own lives, and it gets pretty damn intense. But more importantly, it really keeps your interest because of the crazy twists that go along, and also the 2 main females in the movie I found really interesting because they have this unique relationship with each other. One of them, Ida, She was kind of a victim of one of those internet pranks about 6 months ago. Some nudes supposedly got out. And as we all know, when this happens to a young female, a young teenager, it can screw their lives up pretty heavily. So her friend Nora tries to pull her out of her shell, bring her to Lake Bodem for this fun experience. But these two girls go through some crazy events along the way, along with the other two guys. And if you'll notice, I'm being very careful with what I'm saying in this review because, like I said, there are some crazy twists and turns. And I want you guys to completely enjoy it. I don't want to tell you anything. But this movie is a ride. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Surprised me quite a bit, actually. And it's one of those types of movies where I feel like I want to, A, give it another watch, and B, maybe come back and do like a full-on spoiler review because there's a lot of things that you could talk about that happen in that third act. Now, as far as any cons, I guess a couple of the main characters I wasn't really that invested in. I guess they served a purpose, but really the core of it was these two girls. It kind of reminded me of what I was talking about with Desolation, how you had this relationship between the mother and the son, and really that was the core of that movie. The killer wasn't really interesting at all, but the mother-son dynamic worked very well. Same thing with this movie. The two girls have a really strong relationship with each other, and you're with them throughout the whole movie. So overall, guys, I'm going to give this movie a purchase worthy. I'm dead serious. It's really good. Like I said, the only place that you can watch this is if you go over to Shudder. Use my Drumdums code. You get Shudder for 30 days for free. Try it out. If you don't like it, cancel it. I guarantee you won't cancel it though. Shudder is a great, great service. Only $5 a month anyway. I've been using it for like a year now. Can't get enough of it. And for the month of July, Shudder will be hosting a 28-hour programming stunt on July 13th, hosted by legendary TV personality Joe Bob Briggs. You might remember him from Monster Vision. Anyway, the marathon will include all these films you see right here with the schedules. Anyway, really fun event, and if you go on to Shudder, there is like a playlist that is just like celebrity centric. Like you have actual directors and actors that have their own playlist on Shudder showcasing movies that they love, which I think is really cool. You don't really get that with other streaming services. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think of Lake Bodem when you see it. I really think you're gonna dig it, and I want to hear your thoughts in the comments on that crazy ending. Just make sure you put like a little spoiler tag at the top because it's some crazy spoilers going on. Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks where we talk horror all day and every day, and on Fridays we do Free for Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and now Stardust. If you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and Drumdum out.